Action is the antidote to despair. Hesitation is poison, a slow death of potential whispered to you by fear masquerading as wisdom. The world belongs to those who move, who strike, who decide. There is no salvation in waiting, no redemption in indecision. Action does not beg for certainty. It demands courage. Inaction wraps you in chains while action breaks them. The timid sit in their stillness, watching the strong rise. And the strong do not wait. The strong do not ask. They take. To move is to conquer. Every step forward, every decision made, is a strike against the creeping paralysis of doubt. Those who linger, who question, who ponder endlessly, are devoured by their own shadows. Action is the light that blinds fear, the fire that burns hesitation to ash. Those who act carve their will into the world, while those who hesitate are erased by it. There is no mercy in stillness, no glory in waiting for the right time. The right time is the moment you choose to act. Action thrives in chaos. The world is not a stage for the careful. It is a battlefield for the relentless. To act is to create amidst destruction, to move where others falter, to rise when all else crumbles. Order is an illusion, and those who wait for it will never act. Action bends chaos to its will. The bold understand this and wield the storm like a weapon. The timid hide from it, clutching their plans and their fears, praying for a clarity that will never come. Hesitation is the ally of failure, the silent architect of defeat. Action is its enemy. Those who rise to greatness are not the ones who waited for their moment. They seized it. There's no perfection in action, no guarantee of success. But inaction is a certainty of failure. The world does not care for intent. It respects only execution. To act is to demand respect, to force the world to acknowledge your presence. The hesitant are forgotten. The bold are remembered. There is a brutal humor in hesitation. It whispers promises of safety, but it offers only regret. Those who wait for courage find that courage was waiting for action all along. To act is to be free. Action does not seek approval. It does not wait for permission. It is raw, violent, and unrepentant. And it is the only path to freedom. Fear is loud, but action drowns it out. The timid hear only their fear. The bold hear only the call to move. The fire rises for those who act. It consumes hesitation, burns away fear, and leaves only will. Action is not clean, it is not careful. It is messy, chaotic, and ruthless. But it is also necessary. The world respects power, and power respects action. Those who rise understand this. They do not seek comfort in their choices. They embrace the discomfort, the uncertainty, the pain. Action is not easy, but it is the only choice for those who refuse to be left behind. To wait is to waste. Time is a tyrant that punishes those who linger. Action bends time to its will, creating opportunities where none existed. The hesitant are slaves to time, watching it slip away while they remain frozen. The bold command time, forcing it to work for them. To act is to defy the natural order, to rise above the chains of circumstance. Action is rebellion, a declaration that you will not be bound by what is. To act is to demand what could be. The shadows favor the bold. Those who act are not afraid of the dark. They use it, shape it, make it their ally. The timid stumble in the shadows, paralyzed by what they cannot see. The bold create light with their movement, carving a path through the unknown. Action does not fear the shadows. It thrives in them. Those who wait for clarity in the dark will never find it. Those who move create their own clarity. Greatness is born in action. It is not planned or calculated, it is forged in the fire of decision. Those who act are not bound by fear, by doubt, by the endless questions that plague the timid. Greatness respects the bold, those who are unafraid to risk, to fail, to rise again. Action does not guarantee success, but it guarantees that you will not be forgotten. The timid fade into obscurity. The bold rise to legend. Inaction is a slow death, the kind that creeps silently, robbing life of its fire before the final breath is even drawn. It doesn't strike with violence or chaos. It whispers, seduces, lulls the mind into stillness. The world moves forward without mercy, leaving the idle to rot where they stand. There is no dignity in inaction, only decay. It promises safety but delivers stagnation. Those who wait, who hesitate, who hold back, die long before their bodies fail them. Every second wasted in inaction feeds the beast of regret. Time is a tyrant, and it devours the idle without warning. To sit still is to invite its fangs, to offer your life willingly to the void. Action burns, yes, but it also fuels. Inaction, however, drains. It leeches away ambition, erodes the will, and turns the strongest minds into hollow shells. To do nothing is to betray the self. The mind craves movement, the soul yearns for purpose. Inaction suffocates both, leaving behind a husk where vitality once thrived. The idle convince themselves of their safety, but they are the most vulnerable of all. Action, no matter how flawed or reckless, defies the creeping hand of death. Inaction invites it. It is not peace that waits for the inactive. It is oblivion, slow and merciless. The world does not forgive hesitation. It grinds the idle beneath its relentless wheel, erasing them from memory. To act is to resist. To do nothing is to surrender. The idle are forgotten, their names swallowed by the void. Action is the only way to leave a mark, to carve a legacy into the unyielding stone of existence. Those who wait for the perfect moment find it never comes. The graveyards are full of the silent, the hesitant, the inactive. Even the shadows despise inaction. They offer refuge, but only to those who move with purpose. The idle seek shelter in the dark, but the shadows reject them. Inaction carries no weight, no power. It is a void within a void, empty and meaningless. The world respects movement, even in the face of failure. The idle, however, are scorned by all, left to wither in their own cowardice. To move is to live. To remain still is to invite death's embrace. Inaction is not just the absence of movement. It is the absence of life. It kills slowly, suffocating the spirit while the body remains trapped in mediocrity. The idle watch the world through a pane of glass, disconnected, powerless, irrelevant. Action smashes the glass, letting chaos flood in, yes, but also life. Inaction offers no such flood, only a slow, silent drought. Those who embrace it find themselves dying not in one grand moment, but in 1,000 unnoticed ones. The idle are prisoners of their own minds. They sit in the cells they built, clutching the keys but too afraid to use them. The walls of inaction are invisible but impenetrable. To act is to shatter them, to step into the unknown. Fear holds the idle in place, but it is a fear without substance, a shadow without form. Action destroys it, proving it was nothing more than an illusion. Inaction is the true prison, and it is one without escape for those who refuse to move. The irony of inaction is that it feels safe, yet it is the most dangerous choice of all. Those who act face risk, pain, failure. Those who do nothing face a death that offers no chance for redemption. Action may wound, but it also heals. Inaction only festers. To avoid action is to choose decay over growth, stillness over strength, death over life. It is the ultimate surrender, a choice that costs everything. The fire of action burns brightly, consuming the timid and the bold alike. But the fire of inaction burns slowly, leaving only ashes where greatness could have stood. The idle think themselves clever, avoiding the flames, but in their safety they find nothing. No heat, no light, no life. Only the slow, creeping darkness of regret. To act is to risk the fire, to challenge its wrath. To do nothing is to submit to the cold. Action is the antidote to this slow death. It is the fire that reignites what inaction smothers. To move is to live, to defy the creeping decay. Inaction is the enemy, and action is the cure. Always.